Our campus community is blessed with so many amazing people who embody BYU-Idaho's mission to develop disciples of Jesus Christ who are leaders in their homes, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and in their communities. We want to introduce you to some of them and let you hear their stories. This is the BYU-Idaho Disciple Journeys podcast. I'm Isabella Salazar. My interview today is with Jason Reeder, and this is Jason's journey. I'm here with Jason Reeder. He is the Communication Department Chair at BYU-Idaho, and he has been working here for almost 13 years. So first, can you just quickly give me a rundown of all the different roles you've had here at BYU-Idaho?
Yeah, sure. So I first started at BYU-Idaho in the admissions office. So I started there, and that gave me a really good opportunity to be able to go out and visit high schools and talk to prospective students, do little firesides throughout kind of the U.S. I went to Hawaii one time, which was fun, and just meeting really cool students there. I went to California a lot of times, and then mostly spent most of my time, though, in Idaho and Utah, visiting different high schools and working with high school counselors, things like that. So admissions to the alumni office and helping with marketing and communications there. From the alumni office, I went to a department called Student Life Communications, which was, again, doing marketing and communications for different departments across campus. From there, I went to University Relations, University Communications, and just kind of helped with message development, overseeing, and kind of helping just maintain the brand of BYU-Idaho at that level. And was there for several years, and then was teaching as adjunct faculty, loved it, was encouraged to apply for a full-time faculty position when that opened up in the communication department, and decided I love teaching and I love the students here, and I applied for it, and here we are today. So I've been teaching now for about 4 years in a faculty role. So as administrator before, and now the last 4 years as a faculty member in the communication department.
Okay, gotcha. That's a lot.
It's been a lot. It's been a good ride.
Yeah, that's cool. So first, I'd love to hear what made you want to work here, and then what has kept you here?
Good question. So why did I want to come here? I think, I worked in a lot of other places before here in the world of marketing and communication, which kind of led up to this opportunity and experience. But I was a student here, so I think it starts there. I was a student here. I loved my experience. I feel like I'm a product of BYU-Idaho is kind of what I will say and share. And I was actually a communication major. So I'm now teaching in the department that I came from. And anyways, I was happy out in the workplace, doing that. And then always thought coming back here would just be a great opportunity. And I kind of just felt drawn back, but I never knew if that would ever happen or what would be the right opportunities. But I had actually applied for a few things, never ever panned out. And then I remember one day I got a call from BYU-Idaho from HR and said, hey, we have this role in the admissions office. It's being an admissions coordinator, yet we're looking for somebody with a marketing kind of design background or mindset, and we've seen your stuff in the past. Would you be willing, we haven't been able to find the right applicant, would you be willing to come in and interview for this? And I'm like, well, it's maybe not exactly what I had in mind with admissions. That was kind of like, But I was like, I really love this place, or, BYU-Idaho, and it's kind of been offered to come and interview and give it a try. And I did. And here we are. I mean, it's led to one thing after another, and that's kind of what got me here. But I've always had the desire to be back. I didn't know if that would ever happen again, but it's panned out that way. And the Lord and I even applied, in my career, I applied lots of places. Like I worked different places in Idaho, but my wife is from Texas, and I thought we would either end up in Colorado or Texas or somewhere else, not here. And the Lord has always kept us around here. And I think this is just where he wants us to be.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have an idea as to why he wants you here?
I don't know if I know the answer to that, but I'm hoping that I've been able to add value, to the university and to students. And I mean, that's my goal. It's the university's goal. It's, student focused. And I try to be just laser focused on my students. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping that there's something that I can share with them that will help them in their lives, in their careers and in their future families. So hopefully that's happening or will happen.
Yeah, that's cool. So what are some ways that you try to focus on your students?
In the classroom, I think the way that I try to focus on them is, I said it, I'm a big culture guy. So I share the very first day of class that I love my students. And I think a lot of them look at me like, really? It's like, yeah, I've seen your names and faces on the rolls before you even come to my class. And I've anticipated that of them coming. And so I'm aware of who it is and who's coming in. But I have a genuine love for the students here, and I'll let them know just day one, I care about you. I love you. I want you to be successful, and I'm going to do whatever I can to help you in that path. Obviously, you got to put in the work, and we talk about that. And I kind of have this little, I don't know, a mantra or slogan, and people have heard this before, but it's just, I kind of say, look, I have high expectations of you, but I promise to follow that up with high love. And it seems to have worked well. And I feel like when the students feel like they're loved and that I genuinely care about them, that it creates a really good culture in the classroom. People are willing to open up and share and participate, and we learn and grow from each other. And it's a safe place to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. Is there an experience that comes to mind in which you were able to just connect with a student or help them with maybe a question or a problem they had?
Well, nothing comes specifically to mind. I guess there is one specific one, even this last semester. So even going back to how I start my first day of classes, I had a student in one of my classes that's just going through some pretty heavy life challenges, actually, within his marriage. And, he just in class, as we were kind of getting to know each other and things like that, just kind of shared a little bit about what was going on in his life, and it was relevant to the discussion and what we were having. So it isn't like it was out of the blue, right? But he kind of came up to after class and he's like, I'm so sorry that I shared that, And I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, I'm so glad that you did. You're a normal human being. You've got real life challenges just like I do and the rest of us. And I'm so grateful that you were willing to be vulnerable and put yourself out there and share what's going on in your life. And I go, that's exactly the thing that will make this class great, is by people like you being willing to share what's going on in your life and being authentic and genuine so that we can have these types of discussions and relate it back to what's going on and the principles we're talking about in the classroom. And he's like, he was just excited. I think that put him at ease. Yet at the same time, I felt like, I don't know, just even from that first day, I was like, this is a win, because he's like, you've already helped me feel comfortable enough. He goes, I shared that because I already felt safe and comfortable enough that I could do that on the first day of class. And I'm like, yes, that's what I want. You know what I mean? And again, we got there and it's been a solid semester, that class, and they've been just so good, and everybody's just really respectful and kind. And I feel like, again, that's set from day one, and it comes from me hopefully setting that tone and being open with them about me and my life and my family and what we're going to be learning about, but also them opening themselves up and being willing to contribute. And when we can both get there, it's a powerful class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. I think that that's kind of a problem that we have, where people don't want to share things, and that can also be in church meetings, Totally. I think people don't want to maybe show those weaknesses, but I think that's how you end up strengthening the people around you.
Yeah, I think it's helped a lot in the class. At least from my experience, it's worked for me. I think it's worked with the students. Like I said, I'll show them, and maybe it sounds super weird, hearing it in this format of a podcast or whatever, but like before we even get into much of anything, I'm just like, here's who I am. And I'll talk about like, I know a little bit about myself, but less about myself. And I show them, I talked about my family. You know, I was like, here's my wife. Here's how we met. You know, we met here at BYU-Idaho. Of course we did, right? And, you know, I've got 4 kids, and I show them pictures of our clan, of our group, you know, and these are my people. And it's like, and I talk about like, you know, we're not perfect. We love each other. We fight each other. We do all the things that normal people do. And I'm pretty transparent about that, you know, as it's appropriate. But it's like, I just let them know about, you know, I'm a real human. I'm a real person. And I think it just, again, sets that tone, and try to make myself approachable and feel like I'm not out of touch and not relatable to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. Thank you. So as a professor here, what advice do you have for students, I guess, being successful and being prepared for the real world, you know, for their careers?
That's a good question. I think there's a lot of things, but I would say one of the things is they need to be doing things outside of the classroom, like a passion project. So, I mean, we're going to get them as far as we can get them, you know, from an academic standpoint of trying to teach them, you know, different things through the different content in the curriculum. But I think the hope is that they'll go beyond that and take on additional projects and things that will kind of take them to the next level. You know, if you want to become a content creator and, you know, run social media and different brands for different brands, businesses, things like that. We will do plenty of that in the classroom of giving them experience, but they should be running their own brands or be doing something on the side outside of what's required for coursework to gain additional experience and to have stuff that they're building up for a portfolio to be able to show employers of, you know, that they can do what they're saying that they can do. So I kind of will share, it's less about telling people that you can do it and showing them that you can do it by real work and things that you've been putting together. So I think that's a big way to help kind of be successful. And I think the other part would just be, you know, rely upon there's tons of resources on campus, and between your faculty to so many just departments and things like that that just want students to succeed, and just leverage them. Don't be afraid to reach out, ask for help, and find the right people. And if they don't know if they can't help you, then they'll usually point you in the right direction to somebody that will. And so it's just utilizing the resources and being open and talking to people, figuring it out, and people will help you in any way that they possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. I've been here 3 years, and I am constantly still like learning about more things that campus offers.
Sure.
And it just, it seems endless.
It really is. And a lot of the stuff is free. I mean, there's tutoring services. We have TAs that work with a lot of us, the faculty, you know, to like assist and help. But like you can get free tutoring, free services to help you, like literally we want you to be successful. And there's a lot of investment in that to help you get there. Yeah,
I love that. And we kind of touched on this, but what do you hope for your students to like take away from your classes and from just like their experience here at BYU-Idaho?
Yeah. I mean, I hope they have fun. You know, I want them to have a really good time. I want them to enjoy their college experience. But I think the number one thing, you know, and I think that BYU-Idaho will offer that, and the area offers that. There's so much amazing things. There's so many amazing things to do around here. Like especially if you love the outdoors, this is like a paradise. But they have a good time, that they network with each other and make good relationships with their peers, because they'd be surprised about how many times that will actually come back to bless their lives. Make good relationships with their faculty and other administrators on campus and leverage that and kind of, you know, enjoy those experiences. I think I'll come back to like, I guess the one thing that kind of comes to my mind, like if I can share a scripture in Mosiah 18:30, it says, "And now it came to pass that all this was done in Mormon, yea, by the waters of Mormon." And this is Alma, baptizing people. And it says, "In the forest that was near the waters of Mormon, yea, the place of Mormon, the waters of Mormon, the forest of Mormon, how beautiful are they to the eyes of them who there came to the knowledge of their Redeemer. Yea, and how blessed are they, for they shall sing to his praise forever." So I guess what I'm after here is I hope this place becomes like the waters of Mormon for students. As weird as that might sound to say, a place where they come to know their Redeemer. So that's, I think, one of the reasons I love this place so much is as a student, like I had lots of different types of experiences, but I did come to know my Savior better here. And I hope students will leave here having that same experience, all the fun, all the things I just talked about, but they'll leave as a more committed, more converted, more dedicated disciple of Jesus Christ, and that they'll come to know him better through the experiences that they'll have here. And that this place will become a really sacred place for them. It'll become like a waters of Mormon for them, where they will remember that, hey, when I was here, this is how this changed my life in so many ways. I became a disciple of Jesus Christ who happens to be really good at chemistry or business or social media or whatever it is. And I'm hoping that's what it was for me. I'm hoping that's what it'll be for them. I think that's the goal.
Thank you. And you kind of already answered this, but how has your experience at BYU-Idaho helped you draw closer to Christ? Anything you'd add?
Yeah, I think just, again, like this place changed me, and it wasn't necessarily like a singular experience, but I'm a better person from having been here as a student. And I feel like better having had worked here now, through the last, 12, 13 years that I've been on campus, and just seeing how the Lord, this is his university. Yeah, we've got people here that work here, and we've got a president or presidents that we've had, but at the end of the day, it is the Lord's university, and it's very clear, and it's kind of been cool you take a step back and you look at how it all kind of comes together and the work that takes place here, and it goes beyond just those people that are here we're doing our best thing, but it goes beyond that. I think it's, I talk to my students, and there's like the prophecy from, President Eyring that's shared a lot, that he said, the students that the graduates of BYU-Idaho will become legendary for their capacity to build the people around them and to add value wherever they serve. And I've seen it. It has been fulfilled. It is currently being fulfilled, and it will continue to be fulfilled as students continue to be products of this place, and as they leave here. And, that's when I have some seniors in my classes, I kind of remind them of that prophecy, actually. And it's like, your job now is to go fulfill prophecy. Go become legendary. Go be legendary. Add value wherever that is, and again, and most importantly, hopefully in your home, in the communities that you're in and the workplace and things like that. And it's happening. It will continue to happen. It's happening, this is, again, I don't know if this is answering your question, but this place has just blessed my life, and I'll always be grateful for it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. That's cool for me to hear, my graduation's in a couple semesters, and just time to fulfill prophecy.
It is. It's a time, and you will. And that's the thing is I've seen it, and you hear these stories, and it's powerful. It's really cool to see. And the graduates that come out of this place they are literally legendary. They're incredible in what the value that they can add, and they are gifted. They are super awesome. So it's a great place, and there's people doing great things that come out of this place.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. This has been great. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Thanks for listening to the BYU-Idaho Disciple Journeys podcast, a production of BYU-Idaho Radio. A special thanks to our guest, Jason Reeder. Our theme music is by Sophia Pack, and I'm Isabella Salazar. You can listen to more episodes on your favorite podcast app or find us online at byui.edu/radio.